What's going on, guys? It's Dre Bone 777 again. Well, what I wanted to talk about was the Vita again. It's basically going to be about my feelings about the Vita and what are your thoughts about the Vita. In fact, here goes my Vita right here. You see it right there? The PlayStation Vita. Now, basically what I'm going to talk about is what I've been saying before and how I feel about the Vita, and what I've said before about previous videos of the Vita, like the good ones and the bad ones. Now, I've been marketing the Vita as tablets and smartphones, you see, because it got a touch screen and a user interface like that. You see, let me turn it on actually. You see, the touch screen, the user interface. You see that? Touchscreen, the user interface. Anyway, the reason why I market it like a smartphone, a tablet, because it does most of the same features that they have. Now, a lot of people get mad when you compare this with a tablet and smartphone, especially hardcore gamers and fanboys. Now, I can actually see why the hardcore gamer would get mad, but as for a fanboy, I don't see how you could get mad, especially if you talk about features and stuff like that. You see, the Vita is not just a gaming device. You gotta look at your product as something better than just a gaming device. In previous videos, I said that the iPod Touch might sell better than this device, and that was part of the reason why. You see, most of the fanboys think that this device right here is just a gaming device when it can do a lot more than just gaming. Like the iPod Touch, for example, the way that it's marketed, Apple markets their stuff right. Sony, on the other hand, fails to do that. Another thing is this too: the fans actually support the product. The fans of Sony really don't support the product all like that, especially if it's being compared to like smartphones and other stuff. See, casual people or fans of Apple don't look at, oh yeah, it's not a phone or other stuff like that. They don't look at just that it's one device. You see, what I'm saying is this: the iPod Touch is mainly an MP3 player, okay? But it has more than just that feature. It could play movies, it could get on the internet, it could play games on there. See, they treat their device as as a multifunctional device, not just an MP3 player. You see, this is a gaming device, but it's not just a gaming device. You can play music, you can do movies on there. It does almost the same features that an iPod Touch has, except this can play games. So when people compare smartphones and tablets to this device right here, why do you get so mad when they almost do the exact same thing? I mean, this got internet browsing on there. It's not great yet, but it will be in the future. See, they're going to support Flash on here, HTML5. So why do you just look at this as just a gaming device? That's part of the reason why I think it's not going to sell too great, because a lot of fanboys don't support it. Now, my feelings on the Vita: I really like the device. I think it's great. Now, questions that people ask: do you think it was too expensive? Well, I'm going to be very truthful. I think the PlayStation Vita was pretty expensive. Now, $250 is a good price range for this device, but the only way that I'm going to say it would be a great price is if it had the memory card and one game included, or it could have had internal storage. I believe they should have put internal storage, especially if you can't take the battery out. I'm pretty sure they could have put internal storage or put a memory card with their device. I think $250 is a little bit too expensive for not adding those features with it. At least have that included in the box. That's the only way that I'm going to say that it would be expensive. But other than that though, but think of it outside of gaming. Now outside of gaming, 250 sounds about right. That's how much you would pay for a prepaid smartphone, a good high-end prepaid smartphone, or an iPod Touch. That's usually how much they do cost. And think about this. This has cameras on it. It might not be the greatest camera, but it got a camera on there. Two at that. It can play movies, can play music like an MP3 player or MP4 player, and it's a web browser. So yes, do I think 250 is pretty bad, or is it pretty good? I think 250 was actually a good price, but like I said before, it should have had the memory card included in this device or game. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise though, you as fanboys, let me ask you this question. Why do you get so defensive when people compare this with a smartphone, tablet, or an iPod, when they almost do the same thing? In fact, the Vita plays music pretty well, and the applications run very smooth on here. So yes, the Vita can be compared to a smartphone and tablet. It's like I've been saying, I don't treat my device as just a gaming device. Why do that? Why are you treating this as just a gaming device? Now we know the main functionality of this is a gaming device, but it's not just a gaming device. So please stop saying that, or else casuals will not buy it, and that's who's going to determine the sales. I've been telling you that. And how do you really call yourself a fanboy or a hardcore gamer if you didn't go out and buy this? Now, one thing I will admit, I think that handheld gaming is marketed towards children, kids, people of younger ages than people older than 20. Now, but do I like this device? Yes, but I use it more than just gaming. I actually use every other feature but really gaming on here. Now I will show you some gameplay on this device sooner or later in one of my later videos, okay? But like I said though, treat this device as something better than what it is. Alright, it's not just a gaming device, and that's mainly what I wanted to say today. So you fanboys and hardcore gamers, do you want this device to sell great if you really like it? Even the ones who really don't like the Vita, and you want to see Sony or other companies do good, this got to do great. So yes, test this out first before you say anything about it. See, I was one of the people who doubted this product, and I was actually one of the first people who actually bought it and actually kind of enjoyed it. But it wasn't just for gaming though, it was for other features. Remember though, not just a gaming device, and they do compare with smartphones and tablets. Remember, touchscreen, computer, 3G, even though this one's Wi-Fi only, but those are the features that they basically have that are the same. Remember, take phone calling out of the smartphone, take gaming out of this device. These are both tablets. That's what I want to say for today. Well, I'm Dre Bone 777 and I'm out. Peace.